up, guys? Abel Streetcar Builds back at it again with the third video this week. All right, guys, so as you just saw, we did take the car to the dyno. Okay, it was quick in and out. I just wanted it to be you know, just a little bit less fuel. It was running real rich, you know, on the nitrous. It was just two pulls. One was to 5500, you know, just to see where it was at, and then we went 6500, which was that pull you just saw. Okay, and it only made 392 wheel horsepower. Okay, and I went in with low expectations because we do have a non-lockup converter on this car. Okay, so with that non-lockup converter on the dyno, we lose between 30 to 40 horsepower, wheel horsepower, with just that alone. Okay, so I wasn't worried about it. It was 101 degrees out. You know, we had the slicks and 410 gears. That does kill wheel horsepower. You know, if it had maybe 373s, 355s, maybe it would put more down, but you know, it is what it is. I went in knowing what, you know, numbers were going to be low. Okay, but this motor does make more power than the old 302 we had on there, and that one was running 11.3s. 11.30s was the best. We were hoping for an 11.2, but we never got around to it. But this one, it makes more power. Okay, it has a lot more compression. It's about 11 to 6, 11 to 5, and the cam is a lot more cam. It pulls a lot harder, it pulls a lot further. The other one would die off at 6,000 and wouldn't want to pull after that. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. So right now, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and load up and head to the track, and I'll go ahead and meet you right there. Alright, guys, first pass. Let's see what we get. Alright, first pass of the night. 11-0! 11-0-0! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! And we spun off the line. It ran in 11-0. 123. That's the fastest that we've ever gone. All right, guys, we just gone down with the first pass of the night. No trans brake. All right, I spun off the line and we got an 11.0 at 123. That's the fastest the car has ever gone. Okay, so this next, we're gonna let it cool down. I do have the light for the alternator on for some reason. Saying it's not charging, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. All right, but I think it is because I turn on the lights, it goes down, I turn them off, it goes back up. Okay, so it could be just something small. And 11.0, guys. So on this next pass, we're gonna go ahead and use the trans brake, and hopefully we don't spin, and see if we can get that 1099. guys, so we just did our third pass. The second one was in 11.2. The car is not launching like it should. Right now I purged it on the line and no nitrous is coming out. I think the bottle is empty. So we're gonna go ahead and get the new bottle in there. We're gonna do one more pass for the night off the Transbrake and hopefully we can get this car into a 1099. All right guys, so the car shut off on me on the top end. We're getting the jumper box right now so we can go ahead and jump this car because the battery is real low right now. I'm getting the alternator. It's charging, but the alternator light is turning on. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the jumper box on there. We're gonna go ahead and do one more pass, but with a new bottle. See if we can hit at least a 1099. All right, guys. So we got the car on the battery terminal. Let me see back here. The ground was loose. Okay, that's why I was getting the light from the alternator. Another thing, the nitrous bottle was empty. When I got up to the line, nothing wanted to come out, just air. So that's the same bottle that we use for the dyno. It has 3 pulls and then the 4th pull with the dyno, it was just gone. So I did put a new bottle. This one's fresh. This one does purge good. So we're gonna go ahead and do one last pass for the night. I'm hoping a 1099. That's what I'm hoping for, guys. Car turned off on me again, guys, on the top end. I'm having problems with cranking, all that stuff. All right, so here we are, stranded again. The car ran a lot better up the line, but on the top end it kind of like died. So I don't know. Let's see what. Do y'all have the time slip or no? Don't tell me the time. Do you have the time slip, Alex? No, they didn't give it to us yet. Ah, all right. Okay, guys, so we're gonna go get the strap because the car didn't want to turn on because of the battery. But I'm gonna go ahead and ask for the time slip, and let's see what it is. All right, we're pulling up here, so let's see what it is. Yeah. ¿Ese es el slip de 33? ¿De 33? Sí. Ok, vamos a agarrar un strap para tirarlo porque la pila está bien muerta, carnal. Ahora. All right, guys, let's see what it is. Barely 1098 at 119. Yeah, the car was laying over big time on the top end. The first pass was 123. All right, but we got it, guys. We got the 1098 under 400 wheel horsepower, guys. Here we go, guys, getting towed back. Getting towed back because of the damn battery. But we got the 1090. We're happy. That was the goal for the car, to hit 10s. 1090. The car laid over on the top end. It could have been a 1080. All right, so we're gonna go back home. I don't know what the plans are for the car right now, so we're gonna go ahead and have to see what we're gonna do. All right, guys, that's gonna go ahead and do it all for today. We did hit our goal of running 10s with under 400 wheel horsepower. Okay, the car laid off on the top end. We lost 4 miles an hour on the top end, 5 miles an hour on the top end. The car laid off maybe about 200 feet out, just died. Boom. Well, it didn't die, but it just laid down. Okay, so the car does have a 1080 in it. That was off a foot brake. We didn't even use the trans brake on that hit. We could maybe even get it to the 1070s. But you know, tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and make another video, go in detail about the car, the motor, everything. All right, guys, I'm out. It's the day after the track, guys. All right, so I got the car loaded off the trailer, got it in a driveway so we can go ahead and figure out these issues that we had last night. The car cranked right up when it was cold. I don't know if it could be the timing, the ground wire. I know the ground wire was hot, it was loose. I was having trouble with the terminal. That's why the last 2 passes, as soon as I let off the gas on the top end, boom, car shut off. Had the light on for the alternator also. So we got to figure out all that out, all this wiring. But let's go ahead and I know a lot of people are gonna watch this video just to see what the setup is and how, well, what we did to hit 10s on a 306 small block Ford. And you know, it's kind of like basic stuff. You know, a lot of these parts I bought used. Aside from like the heads and the pistons that I bought new, a lot of this stuff is used. This is just research that I did online, watching YouTube videos, you know, seeing what people were running and wanting to build something similar to try to hit that number, because the goal of this motor was to hit a 10. Okay, if it was a 1099, 1098, doesn't matter. I'm actually really happy with the car because we did it off a foot brake. This car does have a trans brake on it. We did it off a foot brake, and we did it having issues, guys. You know, the car did not run 100%. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and jump right into what the setup is. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and start from the bottom up. It is a Explorer block, Explorer crank, Explorer rods, you know, factory rods crank. We put ARP bolts on it, main bolts, rod bolts, just to be on the safe side because we do shoot it with nitrous. So we just did that. On the cam is a nitrous NX 282 cam. It's like 570, 580, 560, 580 lift at 110, 114 lobe. Okay, so that's the cam. I wanted this cam because we do shoot it with nitrous. I don't plan on running it NA. The car does not respond well to NA, and you'll see why. And so I wanted a specific nitrous cam. So this is the NX 282 HR cam. It works really well. As soon as I spray it, the car responds. The heads, they're Promax 180cc heads, straight from the box, unported, nothing. Just the way they come in, boom, slapped it in there. For the intake, we have a single plane with 30-pound injectors. I think this is like a Hurricane, something like that. It's not a Victor Jr. I think it's like I saw underneath it was a Hurricane. We got the Spider elbow, 30-pound injectors. Aside from that, I did do the fuel system from the front to back, so fuel system is good. So that's pretty much the setup on the car. It is a 306, stock bottom end. Everything's pretty basic, you know what I mean? If I would have done this on maybe like a 351 or something like that, you know, this car would probably be running 9s. But I wanted to stay with the 302 version because I already had the intake. Basically everything was there. I already had this on a stock short block 302. I just wanted to bump up the compression and bump up the cam. And that's pretty much it with the engine. We have long tube headers, Summit Racing, cheap engine 5/8. Okay, on the transmission, okay, so this is where it gets interesting because this is a Lentec AOD with a precision converter on it. 3500 will flash to 4000 if I had more power, but I don't. So the transmission is what's killing me. The reason why, well, not the transmission, but the converter, because the converter and the transmission are spec'd up for a high horsepower car. Okay, I ended up buying it from a friend. You know, it was on a 408 nitrous and turbo. Okay, so that's what's killing me. You know, I tried. That's why NA, the car does not respond. I don't have enough power for that converter and for that transmission. As soon as I hit the nitrous, even though it's a non-lockup, it hits at 4000 and it'll pull. It needs at least 450 horsepower just to get this transmission going. So that's the transmission. It's a Lentec AOD Precision 3500, you know, 3500 to I think 4000, either one. We do have an aluminum drive shaft and we have 410 gears in the rear end. Okay, so that's what we did to hit 10s with this car with under 400 wheel horsepower. You know, we took it to the dyno. It made 392 wheel on nitrous. You know, NA, it only put down 290, 280 wheel horsepower, and it was similar torque. I don't really remember because I didn't really care about NA. I was more worried about the nitrous. And I knew the number was gonna be low, but I didn't know it was gonna be under 400 wheel horsepower low. Okay, so that's the setup on the car. You know, it's a proven setup, it works. It ran a 1090, 1098E with the issues. With the issues, guys, it still ran. Also, suspension-wise, we put the tubular K member in there. It has the coilovers, all that stuff. But some people say, oh, you know, it helps. It really does. I don't really notice it on my car because when I had the stock suspension also, I just had you know, I had drag springs and drag shocks in the front with the stock 4-cylinder suspension, and the car ran in 11.3 with the stock 302 with blow by e-cam, you know what I mean? So it was only 3/10 less, and with that came in all that. So, you know, it does help weight savings and stuff like that, but you know, on my car I didn't really see it. Like I said, it has 90/10s in the front, 50/50 in the back shocks, subframe connectors. The coilovers are new. In the back we have UPR control arms, non-adjustable. So the non-adjustables, you know, I did pay a pretty penny for them, UPR, but once I got them, they basically look like eBay $100 upper and lower control arms with better bushings. If you're gonna pay for the UPR, pay for adjustable, so you can have that adjustability, so we can so you can actually tune the suspension on it. It still has Eibach drag springs in the back, and that's pretty much it. It has a spool, 410 gears, so that pretty much rounds up the suspension. The car is gutted also. I gutted it because, you know, I want a race car, so I gutted it. I don't care about having full interior. I don't care about none of that stuff. All right, guys, that's gonna go ahead and do it for today's video. Okay, we hit our goal, 10s with the 306. Okay, but we were having issues. We are on the fence still about keeping the motor, selling the motor, back and forth, back and forth. But we might enjoy it just for a few more weeks before we start our Coyote swap, because I do have a buyer for the transmission already. Okay, and I'm thinking about maybe posting the engine, or maybe on the marketplace. I'll say, you know, it's a 10-second motor. Hopefully that'll buy somebody and I'll sell it complete, intake to pan, mass air to computer, everything MSD box. All right, guys, but that's gonna go ahead and do it for today. On the next video, I don't know where we're gonna go with it. On the next video, we'll see for sure what we're gonna do with the car, and we'll go from there, guys. I'm out.